Let's do some blues and E.
Whoa, he's calling out the chord. All right.
Hey, now, Kill Tony. I'm on with the Legion of Skanks, yeah. Yeah, Kill Tony. I'm on with the Legion of Skanks. And you're not Legion of Skanks. They're gonna tell you who controls the bank. I got the guitar. All right, Kill Tony, make some noise.
Wow. Ladies
What is going on, everybody? It is Treeb from Treeb Talks here, and we are here to go over Kill Tony number 686 with guests the Legion of Skanks, Louis J. Gomez and Big J. Okerson, and it was a very, very solid episode from the bucket pulls all the way down to the regulars. In this episode, there was a 2 bucket pull stretch where it was perhaps the best back-to-back bucket pulls that the show has seen in a really, really long time, and we will talk about those guys much later on in the video because their sets were phenomenal. There was also an all-time bomb, or at least maybe perhaps bomb of the year in this episode as well, and we will get to that one much sooner than we will the 2 great bucket pulls that were featured in this episode. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, there are 13 sets to go over from this episode. And as far as Big J and Louis J. Gomez go as guests, they were on fire once again. Louis J. Gomez gave away another spot at Skankfest to a Kill Tony guy. And, very, very well deserved. His stand-up was great. His performance was awesome. So we'll get to that when we get there, and Big J. Okerson, as always, was bringing the funny roast, was being funny from bell to bell on this episode, and again, Kill Tony delivers 2 consecutive great episodes with 685 with Sam Talent, and now 686 with the Legion of Skanks. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's start off this list with number 13, your Boi Cheech.
So I've been to so many music festivals, and I'm telling you this. I've done so many whippets. I have gained control of my mustache hairs, guys. I am Dr. Zoidberg up in this bitch. Yeah. So anyway, anyway, shut the fuck up. Let me get through my fucking set.
Your Boi Cheech bombed, and it was an all-time Kill Tony bomb. One of those where the guy that is doing the stand-up comedy completely forgot his set and did not know what he was going to say next, and it was absolutely embarrassing for him. It was embarrassing to watch, and he went back, he clapped back at Tony and Red Band, who were trying to say stuff, and he went oh, and it was so funny. It was like watching a elementary school argument, watching your Boi Cheech do stand-up comedy. So that part was very, very funny. His bomb was also hilarious because he just kept saying yeah, yeah.
So here's an impersonation for you. So this is
yeah. And it was, classic Kill Tony comedy. Those kind of bombs are the ones that are fun to watch. When a stand-up just goes out there, actually tells jokes and they're not that funny, those are boring. When a guy goes out there and completely shits the bed, that's when things get really, really funny. So your boy Cheech delivered in that aspect. And, maybe he'll come back again. He said he's been doing it for 3 years. So, he is going to be maybe trying again in the Austin scene. You never know with your boy Cheech, because he's a guy who is going city to city, traveling all over the world, doing all these open mics. And, who knows when he's going to be back at Austin again, especially after that set and how bad it seemed Tony and Red Band hurt his feelings. So, without a doubt, we have Cheech at number 13. Coming in at number 12, I have Carly Anderson.
Pretty dirty talking with me. He was like, yeah, how's that dick taste? Which, first of all, don't ask. Don't ask unless you really want to know, okay? And he wanted to know, so I thought I'd give him a restaurant review. Yeah, so I hit him with that Gordon Ramsay. I came up for air, and I was like... No. Too much cheddar.
This was Carly's second time on Kill Tony. The first time she was on, she was hitting on Theo Von, and that's now kind of a very famous clip that has gone over, that's gone on the internet. I mean, I see it pop up on TikTok all the time, Instagram Reels, it's all over the place. So this was her return. She gets pulled out of the bucket, and her set wasn't that good. She did a kind of a lackluster Gordon Ramsay impression, and kind of talked about things that she had going on that Red Band may have been subscribed to.
Look who's playing a little hide and seek over here.
It's almost like he subscribes to the OnlyFans or something.
Oh yeah.
Man.
You're on OnlyFans?
I am.
What
yeah.
types of things do you do on OnlyFans?
Not enough.
Pictures.
Whoa. Whoa.
Pretty funny, and just brought up old times, when she was on with Theo Von, and left a lot to be desired. There were a lot of solid bucket pulls in this episode and a lot of solid sets, but this one just didn't have as many memorable moments for me to rank it any higher. So for that reason, I got Carly at number 12. Coming in at... And you know what? Now I realize that I numbered this completely wrong on the fly here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So your boy Cheech was at number 12, and Carly was at number 11. So there were 12 sets tonight, and your boy is just not good at math. So coming in next in the bottom 3, a real fall from grace here from this guy. But I have her first regular on the list. I have Kam Patterson.
I love you too, white bitch. This is good. I was just in Reading, Pennsylvania. That place is terrible. Don't woo for that. Don't woo for that. The place is god awful, nigga. I hate that place so much. It reminded me like if the Civil War went through there and they were like, we don't got to build no more. It's over. They stopped building. That place was terrible. That joke didn't go well. All right, next joke.
Cam even said with his first joke, it did not deliver. He said it himself in that set. It didn't have a whole lot of jokes. His second joke was a little bit better, and that's kind of what the interview was focused on, was his, interaction with the Amish community and how, the Amish is never going to see this, so he can shit talk the Amish as much as they want. And, him and Big J kind of had a little fun back and forth.
What?
Why you was
What are you trying to say to me right now?
in Amish country? Louis, how do I tell him?
He wants to know what you is be doing in the Amish country.
Where Big J, I guess, tried to sound like Cam a little bit and, try to get him to understand him when he was kind of talking a little weird, and that back and forth was a little bit funny. But after the role that Kam Patterson's kind of been on lately, he was kind of due to slow down a little bit, but I didn't think it would be kind of this proportion. Not really that memorable stuff from Kam Patterson in this episode. Coming in at number 9, we have Hector C. Velijo.
I'm bilingual. Let me tell y'all something. When you're bilingual, you're never going to be perfect at either language. The other day, the homie, he was like, look at that guy with the glasses and the beard. That's your doppelganger. I was like, hey, bro, I don't be doing that, bro. Hold up. Hey. He was like, nah, that's your lookalike. I was like, bro, lookalike, 3 syllables. Doppelganger, 4 syllables. Unnecessarily freaky-ass word.
He was a pretty average stand-up comedian, kind of talked about being bilingual and how you're never going to be strong at one or the other. You're going to be kind of 50-50 on either language, and, brought up a perfect example for him, which was talking about, saying words with 4 syllables. Can't even remember what the word is now off the top of my head. It was in the clip that I just showed you before, so you all know what it is. But the best part of his set was talking about picking beans, going back to Mexico after it had rained for the first time in, I guess, 2 years.
I'm going to Mexico to help pick up the crops that we farmed, like beans.
Wait a second. Hold on. Full stop.
Durango.
You're going to Mexico to help them pick beans?
Yeah.
Is that what you just said?
It's called la cosecha. Like you farm. It rained in July, and then now it's about to be that season where you.
They're
Why
taking.
you have to go do it.
Wait, you're telling me our economy is so bad that Americans are going to Mexico to pick beans?
And he went back and picked some beans. So, just very funny. They made fun of him for being Mexican and going back and picking beans. And he said that he is so devoted to the picking beans game that he's going to be using some PTO in order to go back and do that for his family. So very funny stuff. Kind of a missed opportunity for Tony to not bring up the bean here. He did bring it up later on in the episode. And very, very funny. And speaking of Tony bringing up the bean, he did bring it up in this set with Jessica Messitonia.
Chicago, dude. Hell yeah. They got that 9 months of seasonal depression. Fuck that. Do you guys even get that here, or is it just regular depression for you guys? Regular. But you have those telltale signs, right? Like you get lethargic, you don't want to do anything. I know I'm getting sad because that's when I start masturbating face down again. I do it on the couch too, dude. And
definitely pronounced that name wrong. She called Tony a bully, which, was the first time he said in 11 years that somebody had called him a bully.
It's okay, though.
This motherfucker, dude. You're a bully, dude.
I'm a bully?
You're a fucking bully.
Wow, you're not as tough as you look.
I know.
Which is very funny. Because, he is a bully. That's kind of the whole shtick of the show. We talked about it when we were ranking the guests, and Sam J kind of called him a bully in a way. I don't know if she outright said those words, but, that was kind of what she was getting at. And, now Jessica comes onto the show, and I guess didn't really get it. Red Band made a lot of fart noises for her, which were pretty funny. And she told a story about ODing, but she technically didn't really OD. She just had a bunch of seizures after taking a lot of pills, which is not ODing, and she had prefaced it by saying that she was on a roller coaster and she OD'd, but, none of that actually wound up connecting to what she was saying. So that was very hilarious, but also very confusing. And, I think she's very much middle of the pack as far as these sets went, and I have her at number 8. Coming in at number 7, I have Will.
I decided my ex. So I sent her a text saying, hey, I'm on a road trip. I'm feeling kind of lonely. Could you maybe give me a call or something? And about 20 minutes goes by, and I get a little buzz on my phone while I'm driving, and I look down, and it's her. I'm so excited. And she sent me a phone number And underneath the phone number, it said, "This is the phone number for the Utah Suicide Hotline."
Tony has a thing for one-name names, and, another bad set from a guy with just one-word names on the slip for the bucket pool. And, he did not deliver on his stand-up set. It was more of a therapy session. There was another one of these in the last episode where, he just talked about how he was lonely and he tried texting his ex, and his ex wound up giving him the number for the suicide hotline, which is very, very savage. Although that went bad, his interview was terrific.
So my sister beat the shit out of me about a month ago.
Okay. I am falling in love with you, Will. This is great. These are the kind of interviews I fucking love.
He brought out a lot from him. We got to know more about him, including the fact that his sister beat the shit out of him not that long ago, which is objectively a very, very funny thing. Tony hooked him up with a lot of stuff. He's going to help him find a job. He got him tickets to a San Antonio Spurs game, which was why he was driving from Salt Lake City to San Antonio in the first place, is he became a San Antonio Spurs fan, so an awesome hookup there from Tony. And he also got to get his first Austin, Texas kiss as well.
Wow, amazing.
Oh, man. Tony, how'd I do? How did I do?
To her head.
And they got to make fun of that pretty good, and that was very, very funny. Very awkward stuff for Will, but definitely a memorable interview and a memorable time for Will. Probably won't ever see him again, but you're never going to forget a Kill Tony moment like that. Coming in at number 6, I have Luke Stam.
I think you should be able to say all the slurs. We're just having fun. We're just goofing around. But there is one slur you should never say, and that's the N-word. Because if you do say it and you're not supposed to, they're going to start acting like one. And we don't need that kind of crime in our communities.
And, this has not been my best outing spelling these names, because now that I look at that, I feel like I definitely did not either pronounce his name right or spell his name right. And, he was an offensive comedian, liked his stuff, talking about how Helen Keller's dad was a general in the Confederate Army, I think, or something in the Confederate Army. And, it was a good thing she was deaf, because she would have said the N-word way too much. And then he went on to say, he feels like we should be able to say all the slurs except the N-word, because if you keep saying it, they're going to start acting like it. And that was pretty funny. And his closing joke, went over very well. And Big J said from the way the lights were hitting his arm, he could see the hair on his arm stand up, and reused that joke later on. And it was a pretty funny callback as well. His drip was hilarious. He had a long Carhartt shirt, jeans, and a mustache that was, as thin as my mustache when I usually have it, but it was waxed, and it was so funny. He's a funny looking fella. And, he talked about doing coke back in the day, and how he used to do it in the bathroom of his local comedy club. And Louis J. Gomez said, if I ever did coke with you, that would be my rock bottom. Come to find out, Louis J. Gomez did coke with him in the bathroom, and that he had already accomplished rock bottom.
Bathroom doing cocaine with you? That would be the literal rock bottom of my life.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I think you've done cocaine in a bathroom at me in Colorado.
Have I done cocaine with you?
You came to my local club and did it.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Skanks. Wow.
A very funny moment during Luke's set. And very, very much delivered on the set, delivered in that moment, and was a great time. Great showing from Luke. Coming in at number 5, I have William Montgomery.
Today, Mr. Rogers was like, I'm pro-life, I support the children. Y'all would be like, you hate women!
You hate women! You hate women! You hate women! You hate women!
William Montgomery, he's back on his bullshit. He's finally, kind of back on his top 5 range. He looked a little bit more healthier. He had some solid jokes and even had a musical number. That was hilarious, uncalled for. We didn't think that was going to happen, but, he's a unique character. When you've done as many sets as William has done, you got to do some new things to kind of spice it up, and that one worked. But of course, the shout out or the big moment of his set was when he had Dustin Poirier come out at the end of the episode to face off with him. Looked like they were going to kiss at one point even. It was kind of weird. But they wound up hugging at the end of the episode, despite Dustin Poirier being the leader of the keyboard warriors of talking shit to William Montgomery. Even though Dustin Poirier has been talking all that shit, they ended up burying the hatchet, hugging at the end of the episode, and both in the microphone saying, "I ain't never gonna stop," together.
I'll fucking meet up with my fucking ass!
You're telling me one
I don't know what I'm gonna do!
Oh my God, wait a second.
He fucking pisses me off!
Wait a second, look behind you, William. Oh my God.
Oh, no!
Literally one of the greatest fighters of all time, Dustin Poirier, is here. Holy shit. Oh my God. Dustin. Oh my God. What? Wait, what is happening here? Oh my goodness. Look at. Wait. Oh, look at this.
We ain't ever gonna stop!
Wow, Dustin Poirier.
Very cool. Very cool to see a UFC champion come on and, close the show with William Montgomery. A very, very, very cool moment on a very solid episode of Kill Tony. Coming in at number 4, I have Celina. I'm not even going to try to say her last name.
I wore the shirt so you guys would pay attention to me. As a bigger girl, what I don't wear is animal print. I fucking refuse to wear animal print. And I'm going to tell you why. If you're going to wear animal print, let's not be the same size as the animal that you're wearing.
And didn't do a whole, heck of a good job writing down these last names. Sometimes I feel like Tony doesn't say them very well. And, I just kind of write them down. So, Celina comes in at number 4. I thought she had a great stage presence and a solid interview. She talked about how, you can't wear animal print as a bigger woman because you can't be the same size as the animal. I thought that was funny, and she rolled with the punches. I thought that was something that, Jessica, who, we talked about earlier, she didn't do that. She called Tony a bully. Celina, on the other hand, she took it in stride. She took him on the chin, and that was very, very funny.
Yeah, I am. Hell yeah.
Okay.
I love Trump. I'd suck his dick like there was Ozempic in it for sure.
Okay. Wow. This is something we can agree on. Amazing stuff.
Yeah.
That's you just like him because he can't build a wall big enough for you.
And if he
and she had some good one-liners in this episode too. So, for a female-heavy episode, this was three of them. And they usually have to pull through the bucket to just get one of them. All of them were relatively solid. Usually when a woman comes on to Kill Tony, not trying to be sexist, but they usually bomb. But all 3 of them, I would say, had decent to pretty solid sets. On this episode of Kill Tony. So, and Celina, led the group with the best one of the female sets of the night. Coming in at number 3, I have Martin Phillips.
In unprotected sex. So were my parents. I'm actually gonna start incorporating magic in my act. I'm gonna. What the fuck was that? Oh my god, that's the magic. I made that. I made that happen. I made that happen. Oh my god.
Love everything that Martin always does. He talked about unprotected sex. He said, "Who here loves unprotected sex?" And he said, "So did my parents," which is very funny for a disabled person to say. And then Tony asked him about his parents having sex and how he was conceived. And Martin's like, "I don't talk to my parents about their sex life," which was very fair and very funny. You know, Martin's getting a little frisky, and that's pretty funny because, you know, then Tony starts talking shit about his shirt, and Martin mentions as a thrift shop find and makes fun of Tony Hinchcliffe's leather vest.
Paint that shirt
Dude,
yourself.
This is a sick shirt, man. It's a sick ass shirt.
By sick, do you mean the shirt has been vomiting all over itself?
Yeah. This is a thrift shop vibe.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I guess it is kind of looks like
shit.
Yeah. No, it's not like shit.
I love how defensive you get over things like
it's
that.
It's a cool shirt. It's well. Oh look, a leather jacket, so original. Oh my god.
Was hilarious. Great stuff from Martin Phillips, and he was the best set from any of the regulars or golden ticket winners that appeared on this show. It was better than William, better than Cam, and I still don't think we see Martin Phillips enough. He's a great piece to the show, and I love him every time he steps on to the stage. So the top two of this episode are both bucket pulls, and they both did a solid job. And coming in at number 2, I have Andrew Packer.
A lot of sharp angles going on. Kind of like somebody strapped a triangle to a block. I can feel some of you are wondering how I can look like Beavis and Butthead. How is it both? I know, I got this haircut. I looked in the mirror. I was like, oh, we made a decision.
He's a guy who's 9 years into the game, and he actually, you know, tells jokes and delivers like he's been doing this for 9 years. Usually when somebody comes in and they say that, it's either kind of lackluster or sort of average. He delivered like a guy who has been doing stand-up comedy for a long time. You know, it was a lot of self-deprecation jokes. He came in with a, you know, Trevor Wallace-esque face. He kind of looked like Trevor Wallace, in my opinion, but with a mullet. He said, you know, you got to take, I'm going to give you some time to take this in. You know, lots of sharp angles. And said that I don't know how I can look like Beavis and Butthead, which was very funny because he did look like that. And, you know, Tony said, he's like, you know, I didn't have anything left to roast you about because you hit every single one of them. You know, his interview was a little average, you know, didn't talk about too much stuff, mostly about his wife and kids, but he did roast Big J pretty good.
Yeah, he's on the road.
Over-explaining it, telling us the glory of his wife, and it makes me feel better when I go to bed knowing I've been a good person. No, because I love her, and she's the right one. Dude, stop over-explaining. Now I think it's weird shit you're doing.
I know that's your perspective. It makes sense. Like, you don't have 2 double earrings and believe in love.
Not in the long term. 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 He's right.
And at the end of his set, Tony gave him an opportunity to do the open mic at across in the other room at the mothership, which seems like a new thing that he's doing, and he might be doing that to a bucket pull a night now. But if he is doing that, that's cool. And Andrew Packer, definitely somebody who deserves it. He gave it to Mike Hammock in the last episode, who I didn't think was that funny. But Andrew Packer, definitely a guy who deserves it. Funny guy, 9 years in the game, and delivered on all facets, and was the number 2 set from this episode for me. Coming in at number 1, and no surprise, I have Connor Louphrin.
As a musician, I gotta say, I love what heroin's done for music. Hate what it's done for taking a nap in the car. Like, maybe I'm just tired in this Walmart parking lot, dude. Not everything's a tragedy. I'm sick of being woken up with Narcan.
He is the best guitar player that the show has ever seen. He said that I absolutely shred on guitar or something along those lines, and he delivered. You know, we have those Mexican drum offs, and sometimes the drummers that come on aren't that good. You know, people have come on and sing and played the guitar, and, you know, those talents most of the time don't come to fruition. But Connor grabbed that guitar, he shredded, and he, you know, played like he had something to lose, or he played like he had something to gain, and it was awesome. He made a good little Kill Tony song on the spot, and it was awesome. And his comedy was pretty good too, talking about how he loves what heroin has done for music, but hates what it's done for taking naps in the car. And you know, when people ask him if he's done heroin, he says no, and they say, really? You know, and I thought that was funny, because he definitely does have I've tried heroin face, like he said. Everything that he did in this set was perfect, from the interview to the guitar playing to the comedy. Was out of this world, was spot on, was perfect, and was so good that Louis J. Gomez invited him to Skankfest, and I think was well deserved.
Tony.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Can you, if you can get to Vegas this weekend, we'll give you some spots on Skankfest.
Whoa.
Can I shake your hand?
I'm 100%, doggy. Yeah, you're fucking awesome, dude.
Wow. Look who's going to Skankfest this week. You just saw it happen live in real.
And, you know, if there was a single person on this episode that deserved it, it was Connor. If there's a second person, it would have been Andrew. And, you know, really a lot of talented comedians came on for this episode of Kill Tony, and it was a very, very good episode to watch. Alrighty, guys, that was my episode review of Kill Tony number 686. What you guys think? Leave your comments down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We do a lot of Kill Tony content here, and if that's your jive, hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon, and you get notified every single time I drop a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.